to go down, Dan.
Honestly, it could go either way looking at what we saw from yesterday. I was really surprised by Supremacy's performance, but I'm really excited for Vexed because we have BDR back. Big Daddy Riot said he wants to put the practice in. He said he wants to be back to his Halo 3 style.
Well, off the bat, it looks like initially Supremacy got the better of that opening, but Lunny has picked up a double kill off the start, and he's going to be definitely a player to keep an eye on, as the guys on the desk have said. Had some big performances in the online cups building up to this, as we see two actually fall here for Vex, but we're staying on board with Riots. This man is a practice Riots, does spot out that player with camo, but it's actually going to be Fragger who has camo and railgun, so he's going to be the player looking to make plays for the Supremacy team.
All the opening frags going to Supremacy at the moment. It just seems like nothing's going right for Vex, and that's already a flag being moved by Supremacy. Complete domination early on. They had the camouflage, and now they can just push in. This is going to be an easy 1-0. No one to stop that from Vex.
Fantastic play. Frag again, that camo, putting the railgun to use, and look at this, still has a slither of camo as well, still has a shot with the railgun as well. Decides to just back off and not fire that bullet. Cristola backs away as well, just spotted that flash of light coming out of that railgun, making him aware of exactly where that player was. He's been taken down to no shields, but Fragger with some great movement here, takes down Lunny as well. Might have a potential double, does hit the double here. Cristola falls. That's a killing spree off the bat here for Fragger.
And look at, he's hungry as well. He was looking bottom mid to try and get that triple kill, but once again, moving in for that flag, and that's kill after kill. Punisher is dominating Vex off spawn. Thankfully, Lunny's managed to pick up one. He may be able to flank around, but look at the speed of how quickly these flags are being run. That's already 2-0 mark. Vex need to wake up.
These boys have woken up on the Supremacy side of things. They're 2-0 already in the game. And look at this. SLG hitting perfect shots as well. Looking for the double. And Cristola, two back-to-back perfects from SLG. Picks up that BR. And this is once again the aggression coming in from Supremacy. These guys are looking hot.
Cristola, what were you doing there? He was just crouching, looking the wrong way. Communication clearly not on point for Vex at the moment. That was obviously one of those situations where someone said, I've got shot, but I don't know where from. Really need better awareness from Vex. They've gone 2-0 down. There's still 10 minutes remaining. This is an absolutely unreal start from Supremacy. Vex need to try and work their way back into this game. Maybe need to start sticking together a little bit more.
Yeah, Cristola has found himself a railgun. That camo is going to be popping imminently as well, as we see SLG immediately popping up top as he sees one player taken down in front of him, another player going to be taken down. That's two plasma grenades doing work here for Fragger. And look at this, SLG set up on the silo, has the railgun. Triple kill here, can he get the over? No, he can't. Fragger, that kill going to be cleaned up by SLG though with that railgun, but they can't quite get that flag out, so you have to give credit here for Vexed. Although they're on the back foot, they're managing to pick up so many vital slays, excuse me, in their base to keep this Supremacy squad at bay.
And there was a big shout coming out of Fragger after that triple kill, and I think maybe if he had kept his composure, potentially could have pushed for that overkill, maybe moved the flag afterwards. But sometimes when you hit a big triple, you do just have to let your opponents know, as now Lunny is trying to do what he can to try and get his team back into this game. You can see they're all forced to the same side of the map, Vex, because Supremacy have such dominance over on their side of the tower.
Cristola going to pick up a kill in the feed. Lunny's going to be taken down. It seems like Lunny's having a bit of a quiet game so far. We're on board with Quad though. Split this player down to no shields. Lunny does pick up that kill though. The flag is away once again, and Punisher once again just seems to be on fire at the moment for this Supremacy squad. Going to be taken on Cristola. Another perfect kill coming out of Punisher. Getting that double kill. Going to be two dead again for Vex, where Punny just seems to be turning it on right now. One of those players we talked about yesterday as being one of those players who can win games for the Supremacy lineup.
Well, we were talking about the lack of solo and how he brought such a driving force of slaying ability to this team. Would Nurix be able to fit in? Who's going to step up? It seems like everyone on Supremacy is more than happy to put the slays in at the moment.
Camo going to be popping in the next 30 seconds, but it looks like here might be the first time we've seen Vexed actually trying to pull a flag, but they are melted and taken down. That's going to be 3 dead here for the guys from Vexed again. Supremacy doing a great job, but look at this. SLG's managed to sneak behind enemy lines as well. He's getting that flag halfway across the map. This is potentially the final flag of the game going towards the Supremacy base. That camo is going to be popping. Lunny has a decision to make here, Dan. What do you do? Do you wait for that camo, or do you try and stop this flag?
You've got to stop this flag, otherwise you're losing this 3-0. But he tries to take the fight. The flag is going to be returned, thankfully. I love what SLG was doing there. He was very patient with his decision-making, but unfortunately, he does go down in the end. Vex doing just what they can to stay in this game.
I think Riots has actually managed to pick up that railgun as well, so there's an opportunity here. So we see Quadios running this flag across. He's going to have some protection. We see Riots putting that railgun to use. Does get taken down by SLG, but this could be the first flag on the board here for Vex. They're going to get their first one on the board. We're now 2-1.
Yeah, decent flag run there. They really took advantage, got a nice counter cap. Lunny was actually a big distraction at top middle. You were asking me, should he have got camouflage? Should he have challenged? It was the right decision to challenge because it allowed his team to flank around, get into that base, and put shots in accordingly.
Honey picks one up. Finally, Vex seem to be feeling their way into the game a little bit more, as we can see more map control coming off of them, prioritizing that top middle, making sure they're getting into positions to put more damage down. It seemed like at the start they were just losing so many 1v1 battles, but starting to claw their way back into this one. Rights does have this light rifle set up in the treehouse attic, going to be taking on Punisher as well, but Punisher is proving a difficult customer to clean up at the moment. Oh no, he does get the thrust in as well. Hits the ground pound and Punisher turns one around. Punisher is having a hell of a start to this series.
Now, sometimes when you go 2-0 up very quickly in a flag game type, it can actually be detrimental because you get overconfident, you think you're the better side, but actually you've just warmed into the game a lot quicker. And this is what we're seeing now. Vexed is slowly warming up. Their shots are getting a little bit better, and we can see this flag is being run as well. If this can be a return, which it looks like it's going to be, that's 2-2 back in the game. Vexed looked out of it. They were down and out. I was thinking this could have been a 3-0, but they were able to slow it down. They were able to get that railgun, get that camouflage, and they're back in the game.
And talk to me about how much of it we know a momentum team Supremacy are when you have that momentum at the start, but then you have it taken away from you, almost stolen away from you with back-to-back flag caps coming in from Vexed here. That can really affect a team.
Definitely can. You need to be looking at your captains. You need to be looking at SLG to really pick up the morale of the team. It's like, it doesn't matter. We could have been 2-0 down. At least it's 2-2. All we need is that one extra flag cap. Just do what we were doing at the start of the game. Yes, okay, they're on fire now. They're hitting their shots. We need to think a little bit more about our pushes. They can't just challenge willy-nilly. They just need to at least make sure they're pushing as a team.
This is a huge kill here. SLG was waiting for that camo. It's going to be popping almost immediately. Rights picks up one kill. Kills traded out top mid. SLG has to put this railgun to use as that camo is going to be popping at the moment. Not sure anyone's picked it up, as you can see on your screen. It's actually Riot who somehow steals away with it as SLG chokes that shot with the railgun, trying to stay alive as well, but Riot is going to have that camo. There's an opportunity here for Vexed to make a play, but of course, you have one power-up in the hands of Vexed, and you have that railgun still in the hands of SLG.
Yeah, Quad managed to pick up that camo is big. He is actually opting to take that battle. Is just going to let the camouflage go in. Manages to get a double. That's nice. Is it Riot's Quad? Okay, so we need to sort out this POV just very quickly, but Riot's doing well to make sure that he's able to get that camouflage.
Does pick one up, 2-2 at the moment. Trying to stay alive. It looks like he's being hunted down at the moment. Trying desperately to stay alive, but you have to give massive credit to Supremacy there, doing such a good job prioritizing that kill, realizing how important it was to get Riot out from causing that distraction behind them. Took him down, didn't even manage to get too many trade out the kills. So Supremacy doing a great job there, prioritizing that kill. As I previously said, 2 kills going down in the feed. Nurix, not seen too much from him in this game. The new addition to the team, we talked about how Solar was replaced by this player. Had a fairly solid performance yesterday, but obviously going up against the bigger teams today, he's going to have to step his game up once again. And now, Dan, we saw momentum swinging back and forth at the start of this game. It really seems to be now a tit-for-tat battle in the middle of the map.
They're starting to settle a little bit, and Halo 5 is very much a game about building setups around the map constantly, not just having that one setup that you are just used to and comfortable with, and it's which team can do it better on the fly. Now, experience would suggest that Supremacy should be able to because they have been a team longer, but it's how they deal with this pressure situation of being 2-2, getting that flag. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a standoff with flags, because both teams are going to start to get a little bit nervous, start pulling flags a little bit unnecessarily, and maybe we'll see that standoff.
Yeah, Lunny is going to be the last player alive here, as a failed flag run does come in from the guys on Vexed. Supremacy doing a good job to once again just quell the pressure being put on their base. And as you can see, every single player here from Vexed on their side of the map is going to be another battle for that top mid control, but it's going to be the railgun once again in the hands of SLG. Didn't do too much of it last time. Supremacy going to pick up 2 kills here. That's going to be another kill taken down. And look at this immediately. SLG prioritizing this objective, which is something we didn't see him do too much yesterday, Dan, but it seems that he's learned from his mistakes pretty quickly.
Yeah, he knows that he needs to do a little bit of everything. I know he can get carried away with his slaying ability sometimes, and you can see he wanted to toss the flag out there, but he was like, actually, 2 of my teammates just died. There's no point in me just tossing this out and dying as well. So instead, he tried to get a kill. He got 1, so at least he delays Vex from being able to push across the map and start pulling their own flag.
Well, Riot's has got his second camo in a row at the moment, so he's going to be desperately trying to stay alive. Grenades are coming in. He's tagged up to almost no shield. He's getting chased down. You have to once again, Supremacy, their communication on point there, Dan, taking down that camo player before he can have an effect on the map.
Lunny once again is dominating this top mid as well. Just as I say that, he goes down, so that's very unfortunate. But of course, top mid really important. You can lay down so many shots on people that are spawning. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with how both of these teams are pushing off spawn. They're not pushing out individually. They're making sure they're at least with a partner before they're running out. Definitely not wasting any time.
Well, one man we haven't talked about too much. We had a hot start to this. We're back on board of him. He's currently sitting at 25 and 16 in this game. He's going to be taken down by Lunny, though. So Lunny answering back. 1 for Rights, 1 for Lunny. Going to be taking Supremacy 2 down here. Another opportunity for the guys from Vexed to spawn. It looks like they're setting up for this power weapon though, Dan, and we've seen pretty much every time these have been in effect is when these caps have been converted.
Yeah, I love how Vexed is setting up for this railgun as well. We've obviously got Riot's here actually setting up on the railgun and picking it up, but he had one around him, he had one on top of him, and one to his left as well. So they were all well aware, and now Riot's can check out all of these players spawning. Nurix gets one to the face. Unfortunately, can't find the second, but the important factor, Mark, he stayed a little... Never mind.
Riot's heard you in his ears. Those Astros are good, man, aren't they? I can hear everything in those Astros, but Fragger going to take one down. Doesn't get that Guardian Angel medal. Can take down Quadios as well, so another 2 kills here, and a fantastic job here for staying alive. Talk to me about how important staying alive in that situation was for Supremacy.
I mean, staying alive in Halo 5 is just so important, but look at that, Fragger. He was able to get out. He was then able to flank round and get a kill. Now he can pull this flag. He's got support with him, just needs to be careful of these spawners. That's 2 dead now for Vexed.
Oh, that's a big kill.
It would have been so good if he had got there. If they could have just watched Silo, they may have been able to survive and get away with it, but a big kill from Vexed might allow them to get a return here.
Camo is sitting up top mid as well, and look at this. It's actually Punisher who's running the flag back. The flag is away, but this could be the 3rd and final cap here, and game 1 going to Supremacy. It is going to be exactly that. The flag goes in. Why we were distracted by that camouflage. Supremacy take advantage. They take game number 1. Fathom capture the flag. 3-2.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally got there. I think overall in the game they deserved it after their start. Vexed were able to claw their way back in, but a slow start from Vexed that they won't be happy with, that's for sure.
Just trying to work out what their coach Turk was just writing down on his pad there on Vexed. Don't lose game 1, possibly. Yeah. Look forward to game 2. But Supremacy, I mean, we've got a series on our hands, Dan. We have to say, as we bring up these statistics as well. Supremacy looked pretty good in that one, but Vexed definitely gave them a run for their money. Looking across the stats here, we'll see if we can bring up the kills for you as well. Fragger, 28 and 18. Positive 10. Great start for that young man.
Yeah, 84 kills in total for Supremacy in comparison to the 73 of Vexed. So clearly, you're always going to have an advantage in an objective game when you are getting those kills. But the assists all round looking pretty good for both teams. As I said, I was impressed with the team shot of both of them. There wasn't a team that I was particularly disappointed with, except for the start from Vexed. I mean, it's very clear that they... I don't want to say they haven't woken up yet, but
they woke.
Exactly. You want to just give Riot a little slap around the face and say, "Come on, dude, come on. Where's BDR?"
Do you want to go and slap Riot like that? Never ended well for anyone. I'm just saying.
Like 5 years ago, I would have slapped Riot in the face when he was like just as skinny as I am.
When he was 6'4".
Yeah, he was tall but still slender.
Yeah,
but
fair.
Now his arms are bigger than me.
That's fair. I hate to do this, but you have to look at Cristola. It's been a question mark over on this Vex team. Strong online performances all the time, but when it comes to that LAN setting, hasn't really turned up, you have to say. He hasn't had those big games that he has online. Negative 10 in that game, Dan. Is that going to affect his mentality going into this next one?
I'd like to think not. I mean, all these players now have been in the pressure situations where they should be able to deal with one bad performance. They were all at DreamHack Atlanta, and all of them had a bad performance, let's be honest. It wasn't a great situation for Europe over there at DreamHack Atlanta. I think, top 12 and top 16 is the highest we got, which was just
those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. We expected a little bit more. This is the time for them to shine. These are the best rosters, I think, now, well, coming out of Atlanta. It seemed like everyone realized who they really should be teaming with, and now we finally found rosters that we can send to America with practice that might do a little bit better.
Yeah, not only that, but they're giving each other competition. You have 3 or 4 rosters now in Europe who can consistently play against each other and challenge each other, and they're very different types of teams, as we will see as we go through the tournament. But moving on to game 2, this is a game type, and this is going to be Regret Slayer, that we have seen Vexed dominate teams on all the way through the Open Cups, literally putting on a show. And the man that I want to talk about is Lunny and how good he is on this game type.
I mean, Lunny is one of these players that's good at every game type. I'd like to compare Lunny to maybe like Pistola from America. He's one of these players that just runs around and plays a little bit of free-for-all, and he will just listen to callouts and he will just finish off everything everywhere. You want to watch Lunny, I want to watch Cristola, because you were just talking about that negative 10 performance, how that's going to affect him, of course. Those things can play in your mind, but in a Slayer game type, I really want Cristola to turn up, but I think he might struggle. You're up against a Supremacy that are looking pretty hot right now, and we said how losing Solar was going to be detrimental, but all of them have been on form with their Slays.
No, we'll start this one off with Cristola. He's going to be taken down immediately, 2 down here, and it's actually Riot who does actually manage to get that first overshield, so he's going to be potentially melted, but he does manage to get away. All of his teammates seem to go down there, but Riot's doing a good job, taking a safe route to get out of that battle. Going to be taking on Fragger as well. Shoots that barrel to try and take him down. Fragger desperately trying to stay alive. Cristola does pick one up, however. And that's going to be control of the map once again, going into the control of Vexed. A strong start for them, but cannot finish off this kill. Does finally get it though. That's going to be Riot's picking up one in the kill feed. This is actually Quad, sorry. Apologies.
No, it is actually Riot's.
Oh, it is, sorry. Apologies.
No, it is
I was
Riot's.
right.
Yeah, we'll switch those around.
Right.
It says a smart guy. It's Riot's. We'll get that sorted for you guys at home. But I really like that start, the fact he was able to jump on that overshield pretty much uncontested in the end, and now he's just pushing on. You can see Lunny is finishing off everything that he put shots into, exactly as I said, and this is already a dominant lead. 11-3, Supremacy already behind, and you are completely right, Mark. I mean, this is a game type that just works for Vexed. They rotate as a unit on Regret Slayer.
And they're so aggressive when they push into bases. You see some teams, they'll let the other team respawn and kind of hesitantly sort of poke the bear, so to speak, not afraid to push it. But look at this kill feed right now. 3 dead again for Supremacy. The score already 15-3. They're back on respawn. All 4 dead for Supremacy. These Vex guys have got this game type down to a T.
Yeah, they're just switching from base to base as well, communicating well, just moving from spawn to spawn. And look at this pincer trap. As soon as these spawns happen, they all just swarm in, get around them, and then now with Lunny Punisher, absolutely disgusting stuff there from Cristola.
And not only that, that is a wingman medal coming in. So 5 assists in a row. His teammates, not only is he picking up kills, but his teammates are finishing off their kills, trying to take down SLG here. SLG taking down to no shields again. And look at this, Lunny picking up another kill. Damn, the score is 21-5.
This is just unreal. Like, honestly, how do you even get back into this as Supremacy? You're getting sucked into every single base when you spawn, and you can't get out because Vex are just relentless right now.
Yeah, the overshield's going to be popping as well, so you have to favor these guys. It's actually SLG who picks up a kill here. Quadios answers back. The overshield going to be popping almost immediately at the moment. Not sure if it was picked up or burned. It might have actually been a burn on that one, so not going to be too effective. And I mean, at 23-7, you really feel like Supremacy, if they had any chance to get back into this one, Dan, they had to at least secure that power-up.
They did, and they didn't really set up for it too well as well, because all 4 of them went down, and as soon as you do that, you give up map control completely. And Vex will be more than happy just to say, okay, you can have an overshield, because our team shot is so perfect right now that we can just pepper you down anyway. We've got a 15 kill advantage. They can just start trading 2 for 1 for a little bit, just to try and get...
Oh, Quad!
But oh my god, every single shot being hit right now by these Vex guys is unreal.
Oh, Quad just absolutely gave the business to that player there. That was a hot double coming in from the man up from Grimsby, I believe he's from. So that might have been made up, but well, I'm just going to claim his hometown's Grimsby. But he's now going to be working with his team once again. Quad picking up another kill here, 29-14. I'm looking across the board as well, and I see Lunny once again with a big performance coming in for Vex, currently standing at 10-3. This man just lives on this map.
He just lives. He's living, but
lives to regret
everything else at the moment. Okay, so let's be realistic. How do Supremacy get back into this? Honestly, they need to try and slow it down, but it's so difficult when Vexed are playing so aggressive. They just need to win one kind of team fight, get all 4 down, and then do exactly what Vexed are doing to them. Start just pressuring them off every single spawn. This game can swing very quickly if you can just win that one fight.
Well, I was going to say, that's 2 dead here. As you can see, this could be potentially 4 dead here for the guys on Vex. So Supremacy, they've got you in their ears, Dan. I think we've got them hooked up once again. It's 4 dead. Just down by 9 kills at the moment. And we are coming up to that point as well where that overshield is going to be popping, so we're trying to keep our eyes on this. We can see Lunny here and all of the Vex guys trying to fight out of this base. So that has to potentially be the next overshield going into the hands of Supremacy. This game's not over yet.
Well, this is the thing. Now we've got to see how Vex reply to being stuck in a base, but it looks like they've pushed out a lot better, and they've got the overshield as well. Like, that's just absolutely unreal. They shouldn't have been able to get out. They definitely shouldn't have been able to get overshield, and now we're going to see Vex. They should be able to push on.
Yeah, their only hope there was that player who did have the green gun just to hit a shot and take the overshield down. But look again, all of the Vex players just swarming in on this base. SLG gets 1 kill. Cristola going to trade that one out. Look at Nurix taken down to no shields. Immediately, Cristola picks up another kill, a double for Cristola. Didn't have the best first game here, but this guy's starting to heat up as well.
Yeah, and Quad now moving in is just controlling this top mid. The fact that Vex were able to regain top mid so easily worries me a little bit about Supremacy's regret play. They had them trapped in the base, and it seemed like they were reluctant to push in, maybe because they were behind and they didn't want to give any kills away, but that has just lost them the game at this rate. You needed to push in, you needed to take the aggressive stance.
Cristola going to be trying to these 2 Supremacy players at bay, buying a lot of time for his team, but he is finally going to be taken down by SLG. Very difficult here to get back into this game for Supremacy, but we have seen some big swings, as you say, Dan. The guys in Vex are just 12 kills away from closing this one out. Lunny going to get the first kill in a 4v4 situation. Make it another kill here for Lunny. 3 dead again for Supremacy. Make it 4 dead. Quadios finishing off that kill as Riots comes in on the flank as lands that beatdown. Going to find a green gun as well. Total map control in the hands of Vexed again. These guys, I'm so impressed with their gameplay here on Regret.
But look at the difference, right? I mean, when Supremacy had them trapped in the base, they were just waiting top middle, but you can see Vexed, they're taking the initiative. They're pushing in, they're finishing it off. I know it's easier when you're ahead rather than behind, but you've just got to pretend that you're in an even playing field throughout the whole game. You can't just start turtling up, because otherwise you just allow the other team to get further ahead.
Quad is lining up every single time we've been on his POV, or unfortunately for the POV of the player who seems to be in a battle with him, he is winning those 1v1s. Quad, of course, this is his second live event, I believe. Sorry, third live event, because he flew out to America for the last event. Turning up here for this Vex squad turns out to be a little bit of an X factor and not backing down from any battles. You can see this man is confident at the moment, challenging all these players, put shots on 3 different players there, Dan, weakening all of those players' shields, just 2 kills away from Vex to tie this series up at 1-1.
I mean, confidence is just Vexed in general. Look at all 4 of these players, not just their game, but their personalities. All very confident players. They get back into the series at 1-1. Mark, you were saying they've been dominating Regret Slayer all season long in the online cups. And I mean, it shows. The practice is clearly there. They were rotating well as a team. They were pincering well. They were pressuring well. And Supremacy just couldn't keep up with the pace of the game.
Yeah, that was an insane game as we look at the stats as well. Quadios, 14, 12, and 8 from him. Lunny, once again, having a big performance. Every single player there on Vex, not surprisingly going positive. On the other side, Nurix at the bottom of the leaderboard there, down 7 and 13 for him. Bit of a question mark for the Supremacy lineup, as we said. Replacing Solar, not a strong performance from them, but across the board, it just like Vex just dominated that one.
It was really weird because Supremacy just really lacked on the power weapon and power up control in that game, which was completely different to what we saw when they played against Endpoint yesterday, when they were on top of everything. It just shows the difference of playing against a team that is more comfortable like Vexed. They're well rehearsed and they know exactly when those overshields are going to come up. Credit to the coach as well behind them, just making sure that they're on time. But you saw that the one player I want to talk about, Mark, is when Supremacy did manage to get 4 down, they trapped Vexed in the base, and then Vexed were like, oh, okay, hold up. Overshield's coming up in 10 seconds. Let's just turtle back, we'll wait. And then they all burst out at the same time. Supremacy hadn't expected it, and then they got the overshield. They were rewarded by it, and then that was game.
Yeah, that was I think we both said it. Like, how has that happened? If you have an entire team on a Halo 5 map trapped under a base, you should have every perceivable angle of exit covered, especially with the overshields coming up. You can even afford to push 3 players towards that base. At least they're going to trade, and you're going to buy time for that player to pop in, pick up that overshield, and maybe give the chance to get back into the game. But, I mean, is it a case of a bad play from Supremacy, or do you feel like it was a good play actually coming out from Vex?
It was a nervous play from Supremacy. If Supremacy were ahead, they would have 100% pushed in and put pressure on. But because you're like 8, 9 kills behind, you think, well, if this goes wrong, we lose the game. That's the wrong mentality.
You've already lost.
You've already lost the game. You need to be thinking, if this goes right, we win the game.
Yeah. So, moving on.
Moving on.
Series is tied up at 1-1, Daniel Gaskin.
Whew. My heart's already pounding.
What have we got next?
Next, we have Rig Strongholds.
Rig Strongholds. Well, this is a series for you at home who might have just joined us, of course. Tweet out the stream. We want to get some eyes on this beautiful main stage and on Dan Gaskin's face, because it's just as beautiful. 3-2 Supremacy taking game number 1. Vex answering back. Surprise, surprise, they want to regret Slayer. 50-35. And now we move on to Strongholds on the Rig. Now, Strongholds, a game type throughout the history of Halo 5 that we have seen this Supremacy squad dominate.
Yeah, honestly, Vex, this is their chance now to take this series in their grasp. Supremacy maybe down after that series, maybe a little bit of bickering. We know there was a little bit of problem with Solar. I'm hoping there won't be the same now they have Nurix as well. We're on to a completely new game type, another fast game type that may benefit Vex. First camo does go to Supremacy, but honestly, it's just burnt straight away because a nice, as you said, big kill coming out.
Yeah, I feel this is a huge game here for the guys on Vex. If they can beat Supremacy in a Strongholds game type, I really feel like it's going to give them momentum going into that game 4, and they could potentially close out the series. There's going to be a 1v1 going on here. We see Cristola taking on SLG, and oh, look at that. The team shot and the communication just seems to be on point, and you can always tell that when you see different bullets from different angles just landing on the same player.
I love what Vex did as well. They gave up control of the map early on just so they could get to Nest, because they know how important Nest is in this map. As soon as they had it, they sent one person over to basement, and now they're back into control, and they forced Supremacy back to BR base, and they should be able to keep them in there. You can see kill after kill going in favor of Vexed, and SLG is the only man left alive.
It is getting loud on the main stage as well. I think that was Quad and Riot's with a bit of noise coming out. Triple cap in effect here for Vex. They're going to be putting pressure, and look at this, they don't even manage to capture that nest. It looks like all the players from Supremacy committed, but Riot's comes in and picks up a double. Not only that, he's going to get the reset, and he's going to land a few extra shots into that armor.
Total control, a few body shots as well. This is the scary situation for Supremacy. So Riot is just finishing off everything at the moment. And I love, once again, look at this pressure. They've spawned at BR base, and they're saying they're not going to let them come to us. We're going to head straight to them and take the game right to their faces.
27-7, a strong start here, and every time we go on board with Vex right now, we are seeing perfect after perfect. The scatter shot going to be in their control as well, and Dan, the scatter shot, especially on strongholds and this rig with those close corridors, so deadly to keep control of one of these teams.
Yeah, and just look at the control of Nest as well. You can see that Vexed have really had a game plan here. It is, we are holding on to Nest constantly and making sure that at least they don't push that. Basement is just comes as second wind when you've got Nest, because you can just put shots across. I know that the basement position changed ever so slightly from the original Strongholds rig variant that we first saw, but you can still put decent shots up across on it.
Yeah, there's a chance for Supremacy to get back in. They managed to get an important 3 dead just about the time that camo's popped as well. It's actually going to be Fragger who's managed to pick that one up, so he's going to be trying to pick up some important slays for his team at the moment. Like to jump over to Fragger actually with that camouflage and see what he's going to be able to do for his squad. It's going to be taken on Riots, and Riots actually gets an important trade, so as we go on board with him, it's going to be such a big battle. He should have potentially won there, had that first shot, but Riots is going to make sure that camo isn't too effective.
And look at the rotation as well from Vexed. As soon as they noticed that Nest was even slightly lost, they just moved around the BR base and took that as well, just to make sure they were still putting points on the board. Now Basement's being taken, and you get the rotation round to Nest as well. This is just easy for Vexed at the moment. Supremacy really struggling to keep up with the pace.
Not only that, they managed to transfer, they managed to take the camo out of the Supremacy hands for the loss of 1 kill. They then managed to take the railgun out of their hands for the loss of 1 kill. So you have to say that Supremacy haven't been too effective when they have had their advantages in this game, whereas the guys from Vexed have just been putting pay to every single advantage they've had. Player is going to be taken down with the railgun. There only was 1 bullet left in it, however. But the score of 53-15, as we can see Riots once again pushing aggressively, picking up another kill here. Going to be taking on Punisher. Can't quite finish the kill, but another double coming in from Riots. And I know this man is hyped up about this particular event, and I think he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder about the French squad as well.
Oh, Big Daddy Riot.
And another one.
He's always had a problem with French players. Ever since I was teaming back in the day, he did not like losing against foreign teams, and that's why he is fired up at the moment. I just love the rotation that's coming out from Vexed. Every single time that they die as a team, or they force some deaths out of Supremacy, they rotate the same way, clockwise, around the map. This forces Supremacy back to BR base every single time, and Supremacy are really struggling to push out when they get trapped there.
This has been domination from Vex. It seems like every time they decide that they're going to be aggressive, it works for them. They commit, they don't second guess themselves, and that's so important when you are playing aggressive, Dan. As soon as one player in your team of 4 decides to maybe not commit with everyone else, you kind of sell them out, but it seems like these guys are all on the same page, and it's going to be Riots here who has the railgun. Narrowly misses the shot after picking up the first one. He's going to be hot on that camo time. Props to Turk, the coach there from the Vex side of things. This is 72-19, and with camo rail in their hands, they can't be too far from potentially closing this one out.
Where were the eyes on it from Supremacy? Why was no one looking at camouflage?
Oh, no, he's going to be taken out. Did he get stuck?
No, he didn't get stuck. He's still alive. But like, you've got to be contesting that camouflage every single time. You've got to be better with those timings, because now they're going to be wondering, oh, where did camo go? What time's camo coming up? And then suddenly you're distracted. Suddenly your minds are elsewhere, and you're not focusing on the game, and suddenly time is ticking away and away, and you're going to lose this one.
Rice does get taken down with that camo, though, so only managed to pick up 1 kill, but did quite a lot of damage with it. Not always about the kills with that camo, it's more about creating those opportunities, creating those distractions for your team to push around the other side of the map. It looks like Lunny's going to be able to cap this one with his teammate. And it's going to be finally here, Supremacy, who are going to be controlling the map and scoring for a moment. But look at that, just as they had it. Perfect rotations coming in from Vex towards that basement.
They did it again. They just pushed them to BR base every single time. I don't know how they're doing, but Supremacy being forced all the way to BR base, really struggling. They look spread out at the moment, to be honest, Supremacy. SLG's trying to do everything. He keeps pushing Nest time after time. And eventually they may get 2, but it just seems like Supremacy are not a unit at the moment in comparison to Vex, who are always a 4.
I was going to say, you mentioned SLG there. I've just looked at the stats. He's currently sitting at 3-12, and I can't remember the last time we saw SLG having a game like that. Obviously, he's known as the player who puts up those statistics for this squad. But these guys just seem to be singling him out. He does finally pick up another one, but immediately going to be traded out. We see 3 players there come into that basement here. Going to be an easy recap for them eventually, once they pop back into it and finish that one off. Riot's going to find a scatter shot as well. 82-40, and now looks like this Nest's going to go back into the control. You have to say, they are just completely, not only outplaying them individually, but the rotations, they're just not on the same level right now.
They're just prioritizing right, whereas Supremacy, they're falling into this trap. Players like SLG are they're dwindling a little bit and they're saying, I really need to win this game, so I'm going to push alone, I'm going to get caught out, and that's why you see him going like 4-12, really struggling. And now all the power weapons in control of Vexed as well. They're already at 90 points. They're going to be able to finish this one off. Lunny is destroying every single thing he sees at the moment. It's going to be 2-1 in the series, Mark.
It's going to be 2-1. Railgun and Camo in their hands. Looks like a last desperate push on these strongholds. He's going to come in. All they have to really do is contest. Potentially, maybe like Quad to contest that one, but if he can hit this Railgun shot, it's not going to matter too much. 96, but they do manage to get control.
Oh my God.
Momentarily, however, Quad with the combo. He has the scatter shot on the rail. Looks like they're going to take down 2 players as well. Gonna, like what I'm seeing here from Lunny as well, just making sure they keep hold of that BR base while his teammates are rotating over to the nest. Kristola has that camo, going to land the ground pound on to Fragger as well. It's going to be a hectic push here from the guys on Supremacy, but look at this. Nurix does actually take out that player, and it looks like SLG could potentially get the reset on this.
Yeah,
he does.
They haven't actually noticed Kristola, though. It's just sat above them and just got a double kill because of it. Should be the game-winning play if he can avoid these grenades and work with his teammate. Fragger is going to try all he can to stop this, but Ness is going to be taking control. BR base already in control as well. That's going to be game. It didn't go as quick as I thought it was going to go at the end, but Vex doing really well, and I've got to give props to Kristola for staying alive at the end there with the camouflage, just hiding away. But really, rotations, prioritization, and I want to give commendations to the coach, Turk, for making sure that all those camouflage timings were on point.
Yeah, an incredible performance once again coming in from Vex, and you always know when these guys are feeling confident. You can just hear the noise coming from the main stage. The fist bumps are going in, they're all feeling good, and that man on the end there you just saw, man on your screen right now, Riot's had a good game, but on the other side of things, Dan, Supremacy just didn't have anything to talk about really there.
Yeah, SLG going 6-18. I mean, when
It's not an SLG performance.
Exactly, when you think of SLG, you don't think of him going completely negative. Of course, we can see like the strongholds captured there and who's doing all the objective work, but realistically, you want to be making sure you're picking up those kills. I think SLG's just got a little bit desperate to try and find that stronghold. He was constantly bombarding Nest, but Vex just had his number for the whole game, and look at that, Mark. BDR, Big Daddy Riots, 21-12. If we look at Riots throughout the course of Halo 5, I'm going to be honest, he was a disappointment at first.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, when you think of what he was in Halo 3 and Halo 4, Halo Reach, he was always on the top team. He was always one of the top players. He stopped practicing with Halo 5. It was a bit weird. I know everyone gets into their real-life situations. You get girlfriends and whatnot. You're not as nerdy as you were when you were 16, right? But now he's suddenly realized, oh, wait, if I play this game, I can be right at the top once again. He has such, not just mechanical skill, but his game sense is incredible. And now the radar's changed. It really favors these old school players.
Yeah, it definitely does. Riot's has definitely been putting in the time in the build-up to this tournament. I've been speaking to him quite a lot. He knows how much this means. He's also got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, Dan, about some of the comments that the North American AM teams have been making towards Europe. So if you're watching out there, Riot's is calling you out. Just saying, I don't want to speak for him, but you'll hear it later. And he's basically looking not only to qualify for Denver, to make a dent in that championship bracket as well.
The frustrating thing is for Riot and also people that were at the top of European Halo back in the days of like Reach, maybe Halo 4, Halo 3, we didn't have the opportunities back then to go over to America as often as we do within Halo 5. And we're sending these European teams over to America and they're not practiced, they're not well drilled, and they're not showing the potential that Europe really has. We used to have incredible European teams in Halo. I don't feel like we've ever sent an amazing team over there more than maybe a couple of times.
Yeah, I think it's definitely so. I think the last DreamHack event was definitely a wake-up call for Europe.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of players speaking to them. But just a little update for you as well. We're talking about these two top teams we've got in this series. We also have results from the other stations. Infuse just won their series 3-0, and Excel won their series 3-0. So they continue on in the tournament. Here's the series layout once again. We're moving on to Truth Capture the Flag now. Vex just one game away from taking this one. Arena-style map, Dan. Haven't seen their performance on Regret. I have to favor this one.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the series as a whole, you would lean towards Vex, but you've also got to bear in mind what happened on Fathom CTF. But I feel like Vex just hadn't woken up that game. It wasn't the same Vex we've seen for the rest of the series. All their shots are on point at the moment. They're really working well as a unit together. They're pushing, they're rotating well. And I love this start from Quad as well. He's just sitting in the window. This is something we saw a lot on Onyx in Halo 4. Do you remember just sitting
It's an old school strat,
yeah,
isn't it?
just sitting in window, peppering shots across, communicating with your team, and then pushing out once you've got a little bit more knowledge of where everyone else is.
Almost that Halo 2 Karma style play.
Yeah.
Sitting in that window on midship, laying down shots across the map, but it's actually going to be the first flagpole coming in here from the guys on Supremacy, and it's going to be all up to Quad here to pick up some kills. Does manage to get a vital kill on that player who was trying to fly out towards it. Another player going to be one shot. They do get it up to the window, but it looks like Quad is going to be in the position here. It's going to be a huge 1v1 though. Oh, look at the help coming in from Cristola. Does get that flagpole as well. Looks like Punisher's going to be the last alive. There could be a counter cap opportunity coming in. They do get the re, and it looks like it's actually Riot's who's going to be pushing in here, trying to run that flag and trying to get a counter cap as his own.
Yeah, the flag's gone out, but actually the flag is going to be returned now, so we're just going to be back to normal, and we'll move across to Punisher as he's trying to control top mid as well. Supremacy, they tried to get a little cheeky flag pull despite losing a couple of people right at the start. I think it was SLG who just tossed that one out, which I do love and I commend on Truth, is sometimes just trying to distract your opposition. You can't get away with it. As I say that, Riot just comes flying in, and he's continuing to do the damage that he's done all series.
Spartan charges, we've got ground pounds, we've got everything that Halo 5 offers us in one clip there. Riot's going to be up top middle, and this is such a dangerous position. The player, one of the best players I've always thought, when we go back to Onslaught, Halo 3, we'll always talk about Riot sitting up top mid, peppering shots. If he can get set up on top mid on Truth or on the top of that P tower, he's been there for so many years. He knows how to work those angles, put those shots, but Cristola's picking up a double. Going to be taken down. SLG going to pick up a double of his own. So those players trading out those kills. But at the moment, it seems like neither of these teams have really had too much map control. Neither have been formulating that pushes. It's just been a battle for that top mid section, for that P side. And it seems like neither team are getting ahead of the other at the moment.
Yeah, it's just been individual battle after individual battle, but Camouflage is coming up in about 10 seconds, I believe, and that's why SLG is just hovering around here. Kills are going in advantage of Supremacy, so he should be able to pick this one up. No one from Vexed is going to be in a position to contest it. As I say that, Cristola comes swarming around the corner. But Camouflage now going to SLG, but I want to see him do something with it. You need to make sure you actually get in a position where you can do something. If he had died there, I probably would have screamed at him right in his face, but thankfully he's still alive. You back off now. Keep this Camouflage. Don't waste it.
I like the idea of you slapping Riots already, then screaming in the face of SLG.
Yeah, big words for a little man.
Yeah, I know. What can I say? But Punisher's going to pick up a kill here. SLG still has that camo. His teammates are actually going to pick up important kills on the side of the Vex side of the map, however. Punisher does get a pull on that one. Nurik's going to pick up another kill. If you see the kill feed fill up with Nurik's here, this could be a potential flag pull here. Looks like Cristola and Lunny going to be the last players here to try and get a stop on this one. If they can kill this player here with that camo, Punisher picks up another one. This is looking like a good flag opportunity here, but it's actually going to be one player. It's Cristola getting a huge return there. Massive play coming out of Cristola.
Yeah, and the thing is, SLG did a whole lot of nothing there, really, with that
I have to agree with you.
To be honest. Like, he stayed alive, but then he was making weird pushes. I wouldn't have minded him pushing top mid and either going over to car or jumping right into the base to try and get behind them and flank. You're invisible. Like, do something with it.
It's not only that, he was not only invisible, he was not getting map control, not really firing any shots, or trying to be aggressive and get behind the opposition team. So G having a couple of a shaky game in the last one, shaky decisions. Maybe the last game has affected his mentality ever so slightly going into this one, but look at this, it's going to be Vexed with a slightly unorthodox carbine run here. This player is going to be taken down as well, so it's going to be 2 dead here. Punisher could potentially be taken down as well. And look at this, that's actually going to be 2 dead again. Last player's under the base. This could be the first flag cap of the game. If Lunny can get around this corner, he does. He's going to run this one home. No one in position here for Supremacy to stop this one. It's going to be Vexed going up 1-0.
Yeah, Vexed are just a lot better at positioning as soon as they pulled out a flag. They make sure there's someone in every single angle to cover spawns from Supremacy. And Nurix, what are you doing? You're just flying out the window. I mean, yeah, okay, you're panicking a little bit. Luckily, he stays alive. But Supremacy, look at that. 3 kills on the board. That's all 4 dead for Vexed. So they are able to push out of this base despite being kind of stuck in there.
Yeah, not only that, that camo is going to be popping as well. So that should be a guaranteed camo actually going over to the guys. It looks like Punisher's actually going to move in to pick that one up. He does secure that one, slams it into his chest. That's going to be 3 dead here for Vex. They have camo, they have setup. This has to be a converted flag cap. They have everything they need to put this flag in and tie the game up at 1-1.
Yeah, but now it's their positioning with this flag. Can they get those kills as well? Well, that's a flag that's already gone down, so this is a lot on Punisher. But he doesn't want to drop because he's got that camouflage. Vexter managed to pick up 2 kills at 3 kills, and now it's just Punisher left on his own. Someone off spawn has picked up that flag. It's Fragger, but he's getting railed in the back as well. Vex doing really well off spawn to be able to try and return this one. They've managed to position themselves in the base as well, so Cristola should be able to get behind and try and get a return here.
I don't know what Supremacy have got to do to get a flag cap. Oh my god, Nurix winning a huge 1v1 is definitely going to help. But the flag has actually been pulled by Vex as well, so what all that action was going on, they did manage to get a pull, but this one is going to be returned by the looks of it. There was 3 players converging on that. Cristola going to be trying desperately to clean this kill up, but it's not going to happen. The return doesn't come in though, and there it is. The flag does actually go in. Finally, Supremacy being given every opportunity to get a flag on the board. Scrappily managed to pull one together, and that's going to be tied up at 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know if Vex needed to try and run the flag necessarily. I would have been happy if they just tossed it out and maybe took the battle, but it was all about that big double kill from Nurix, to be honest. If he hadn't have hit those shots, then this would have just been a flag return, and we would still be looking at 1-0, but that's another flag now being moved by Supremacy here, and it looks like they've got a bit of map control. Has anyone been able to flank around? Riot's is top mid to try and stop this, but it looks like they're still running this one with Punisher about to slam this down.
Well, it looks like the guys from France have started to come to life again a little bit after a shaky start and a shaky last game. If they can get this kill on SLG, there could be a potential for Vex to answer back almost immediately, but look at this, Nurix is on a cheeky flank, and I love this play. If he pulls this flag car side, it's going to create a flag standoff situation. His teammates will be coming off the respawn on the car bubble. That's a huge kill. If Lunny can get this immediate return, then this should be another flag coming in. But no, he gets taken down as well. That's going to force Cristola to just slow down, wait for his team to come back off the respawn. And we're going to have a flag standoff now, Dan.
Yeah, flag standoff is going to be a tricky situation. I always say when you're in these situations, you need to be looking at who's going to be making moves, who's going to be trying to get any sort of flag return. Are you going to stick with anyone in the base, or are you going to push out and be brave? But Fragger is the one who's picked up the camouflage, so be looking for him to try and flank around. I love this trigger discipline. Look for the flag first. That's your main priority.
Yeah, and he's also going to spot Lunny. This is a big battle for him to win. Does win that one. Can he get the double? This will be a huge play coming in from this man. But no, Cristola wins the battle. A huge battle by Cristola to win in that situation. Not only keeps that flag alive, but takes that camo out. Cristola, the man with the question mark coming into the tournament, has really proved himself in these last couple of games with some big plays. And look at this, Riot's now putting some shots on. He's going to take that flag carrier down to no shields. Lunny's going to be there and flanking as well. Could potentially pick up a double. Why in time for his team? Cristola once again going to be putting shots down. Looks like Excel might have an opportunity here, but no. It's actually Supremacy who managed to quell the pressure once again, and they put up the defensive wall.
I like to think of flag standoffs a little bit like basketball. Like you have your attack, you have your defense, and you've got to just wait for the right moment. You sit back, you defend your flag, and then you push out when the time is right. Punisher, I actually really like that play. If he can connect with these shots, he didn't push in straight away for the return. He knew someone was above him, but the flag's still going to be in both bases, Mark. Now you start to get into panic situations. As soon as it's a standoff for longer than like a minute, teams start to like just sweat a little bit.
They do. I'm getting sweaty just watching this one. I've got to be honest with you. And of course, this standoff is perfect for Supremacy at the moment. They can go on to the end of the game. It doesn't bother them. They have a flag cap lead. It's all up to Vex here to potentially make a play. The camo's going to be popping around 20 seconds down. I think that could be potentially the opportunity for one of these teams to get that flag return. Right, it's going to be 7P2 here. Does have a battle here with the flag carrier. If he can win this one, it'll be huge. But no, Fragger with the Flagnum wins the battle. Nurix gets a double kill as well. It's going to be all up to Lunny. All of Supremacy swarming in. They're going to double hop this return. This is going to be the game going in Supremacy. The series is tied up at 2-2. We have a game 5, Dan.
Noise as well from the French powerhouses. As soon as that kill came in with the flag, you just heard screaming across the stage. Let them know, back in it now from Supremacy. And I was just about to talk about camouflage and how Supremacy were going to be setting up for that camouflage, but actually they took the initiative. They said, okay, wait, camouflage is coming up in like 10 seconds. Vexed are probably timing this. If we push them now, we might catch them off guard. And they did. Yeah,
and the thing about pushing ahead of a camo, if you're the first 2 or 3 players ahead of the camo, the player who's coming off a respawn, who might die first, he's going to be in position to come off that respawn, maybe push behind the team and pick that one up. So ballsy play coming in from Supremacy, but it's worked for them, and you've got to look across the board. It was back and forth there. Fragger, as we saw, 20 kills, 2 perfects from him, but assist-wise, we actually see Supremacy out assisting Vex for the first time, and when we go back to that previous games, it looked like it was the other way around.
And you know when we were talking about early games and we were talking about power-up control from Supremacy, and I was saying, look, they're lacking a little bit on that front. They made up for it in Truth Capture the Flag. They had all 4 camouflages that spawned, and we saw nothing, unfortunately, from Vexed.
It's certainly going to help, isn't it? It's certainly going to help if you spend.
I mean, there was one wasted. There was one wasted by SLG,
very
but
true.
I guess getting a camouflage means it's not a waste because you're not allowing your opponent to have it, right?
Yeah. Well, game 5. I mean, what a way to start the day. Both of these teams, they're not giving an inch. I'm excited. This is a great way to start. Super Saturday? Got to coin it. What do you think about that?
I like
Super Saturday. Super Saturday.
Yeah.
Vexed versus Supremacy, 2 of the teams we were expecting to see in that top 4 contention, certainly showing that they could potentially push any single team that's in this tournament. But let's have a look at the series so far, how we've got to this game 5. Because, I mean, boy, what a series we've had in our hands. Supremacy took that first game 3-2. Vex answered back 50-35. Vex stormed into a lead in the series 100 to 51, but then, sorry, 53, I can't read. Supremacy then answered back with a 3-1 Truth Capture the Flag win. Now, Dan, we move on to Plaza Slayer. Sniper rifle in use. Is this the first game we're going to see from SLG really, where he really has an effect on the series? Or do you feel like this one might fall into the hands of Vexed?
I mean, I feel like he's had an effect on the series both positively and negatively in certain games. I'm just interested to see how slowly this game's played, because now it's 2-2 and there's quite a lot on the line to be able to move forward in this winners bracket. You don't want to be dropping into the elimination bracket. So are Vex going to continue with the aggression that we've seen throughout the whole series, or are they going to get a little bit more slower, a little bit methodical about their play, which could play into the hands of Supremacy, who are a better drill team. They've been practiced a little bit more. 3 of these players have been together for years now, so you'd expect if it does slow down, it would go in favor of Supremacy, so I'd like to see Vex keep it nice and fast-paced.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, Vex have had some pretty shocking performances on this map on Stronghold, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform on Slayer. It's going to be Cristola who picks up a perfect kill to start this one off, but it's actually the sniper rifle who falls into the hands of SLG early on. The first overshield was burnt. SLG going to be taken down though, so that it's going to be an immediate sniper rifle potentially turned over by a low one here from Cristola, trying desperately to stay alive, valuing his life, and it looks like at the moment this is a scrappy start to the game. Fragger is going to escape with that sniper rifle though, and that could be huge for Supremacy.
Yeah, it could. You really need to get in a position where you can survive with a sniper rifle, start laying down shots, and really just let your team know that they can support you. But at the moment, it's pretty a speedy game as we expected right from the start. A lot of battles around bottom middle, which is interesting. The only reason we're having those battles bottom middle is because the sniper fell bottom middle, so everyone's just bombarding bottom middle. How many times can I say bottom middle in a bottom middle? And trying to get that sniper rifle.
Lunny going to be in a 1v1 here. Lunny wins the 1v1 again against SLG. So Lunny carrying on his performance so far in this series. Punisher going to be pushing this player. Does manage to take him down. That's going to be 3 dead here as Riots managed to pick up 1 just to keep Vex within touching distance of Supremacy, but a strong push coming in from Supremacy. Missing some shots here on Fragger. Fragger going to make him pay. That's going to be a 2-kill lead for the guys on Supremacy. Quad answers back though, so we're just a 1-kill deficit.
Nurix has managed to find himself a sniper as well, but he's been backed into a corner. He needs to be having a little chat with his teammates to make sure he doesn't get pushed too easily here. Using the radar to his advantage, does take down Riot in the end. Can he find a second? Well, thankfully, catches the shins of Lunny. Looks for a triple as well, but the third gets away from him. Interesting positioning from Nurix, but sometimes you just have to play what is in front of you. I like the rotation now over to Cafe to make sure he stays alive.
Now, this for me is where the game needs to be dominated for a period of time. We see they have perfect map control, they have sniper rifle, they picked up 2 kills. It's just a case now of taking advantage of what Halo 5 has given you and putting it to use. Nurix does take down Quadios, actually hits another shot now. This is the player we need to see step up for Supremacy, and it's going to be a killing spree and a double kill, and that's going to turn the overshield over to Supremacy as well. This is looking good right now, and Nurix is on a storm right now.
He is, and SLG's managed to pick up an overshield as well, so he's just moving around. And you can see that, well, Supremacy, they've got map control, and we've seen Vex throughout the series. They've done well at getting back into a situation when they're backed into a corner, but can they do the same on Plaza, which is sometimes so difficult to turn around when overshields and sniper rifles are going in favor of the other team?
Yeah, I want to go on board with SLG. Sorry, we are on board with SLG, apologies. Yeah. Overshield does actually run out. Still has that green gun though, which, you know, when the opposition gets that overshield, you need to try and get that in your hand, so he's going to be able to negate any potential that Vex had to actually make something out of a bad situation. He's going to be putting so many shots on as well. Look at the kill feed as well. Teammates now moving in. Sniper rifle has popped, but he is going to be taken down by Quadios. Fragger picking up a kill on Rights as well. The lead has escalated, but of course they did have control of that overshield. They did have control of the previous sniper. Now it's up to Lunny to see if he can turn this one round for Vex.
Yeah, the only thing was then Supremacy decided to get aggressive at maybe the wrong time. They noticed that Vex were all spawning. They said, hey, let's go push them. We can get the kills. But the sniper rifle was coming up, so they just left it. Lonnie then spawned there and was like, oh, hey, that's a nice Christmas present just for me. It's not even Christmas yet, but, you know, it's just going to drop in front of me. It's like Santa brought it to me.
Well, I want to jump into Observer mode if we can very quickly and see exactly what's going on. It's actually hopping on board with Cristola as well. We can see the outlines. Does pick up a kill on Nurix. Looks like a push is coming in from Supremacy here, but Lunny does finally hit a shot with that sniper rifle. Going to pick up another kill. Cristola doing some work here. As we can see, the score slowly starting to creep back into the hands of Vex. Lunny still does have that sniper rifle, so let's hop on board with him, see if he can hit a few shots as well. And I like the rotation we're seeing coming in here, but look at this Supremacy with a big push coming in through blue. This is going to be all up to Lunny to hit some shots because Supremacy are putting him under pressure. Lunny gets one. Lunny gets two! The snapshot double coming in from Lunny. But even with that big play, still a 5-kill deficit.
Still a 5-kill deficit, but I like the arrogance, I'm going to say, of Vex to even push that aggressively with the sniper rifle. Great stuff from Lunny to be able to hit those shots. He took maybe, what, 4 until he hit them, but at least he hit them. That's the big thing. If he had missed those, it could have been a very different situation. You give the sniper rifle away, you might be looking at losing the series because of it, but the fact they were able to push Cafe, get a little bit of Cafe control, and now bring this slowly back.
Yeah, Cristola has the overshield as well, so let's see, while Fragger's trying to desperately stay alive, it looks like Cristola's picking up beatdowns, and here comes Cristola. We can see him. He is being melted. He has been called out. Riot is going to be taken down potentially as well here by Fragger. It's all up to Fragger. The pressure is coming in from the Vex squad, and look at the score, Dan. Now just 3 kills between these two teams. We talked about how important those sniper rifles and overshields are for either of these teams at the moment on this game type, and every time they've gone into the hands of one of these teams, a kill swing has occurred, and Lunny still has that sniper rifle. Hits a beautiful body shot there. Fantastic reaction time from him to even see that player coming around the corner and land the shot, and now he's hitting headshots on Nurix as well.
Now, Supremacy are really trying to slow this game down with a lead, but Vex just aren't allowing it. Look at this push. They're just saying, no, actually, we don't want them to be spawning there. 2 of them are dead. We've got numbers advantage. We can push and we can win this fight, and we can slowly claw this way back in. Vexed are so confident in their shot. Now they're just 1 kill behind, and look, rotating back around now. Lunny knows where there's a possible spawn, and he's spawned in the way of the sniper rifle as well for his team, so they can keep eyes on this.
Sniper rifle going to be popping, as we can see on our screen. 15 seconds till that one comes up. It's going to be Supremacy who pick up the big opening kill in that 4v4 situation. Opening kill is so important in Slayers, and those 4v4s creating opportunities for those 3v4 situations, and getting away like that so vital as well. Lunny cannot finish off that kill. It's going to be Nurix who pops back out. Lunny's going to have to get this kill on Nurix. Stays alive, but big plays coming in from the Frenchman there. Managing to clean up kills, stay alive, delay the pressure coming in from Vexed, and now Fragger's found himself a sniper rifle here. If he can hit some shots, this is going to put Supremacy well on the way to taking this series.
Yeah, Lunny eventually got taken down there, but now with Sniper Rifle going into the hands of Supremacy, Overshield's coming up as well, so we'll see if anyone can grab that. Quad has decent eyes on it. It is Nurix who gets it in the end. Unfortunately, missing that headshot, that could have been big. So now Nurix going to try to make some plays from top middle.
He has been hit by the green gun though, so his shields are going to be down. That overshield not going to be too effective, but look at the kill feed. It's lighting up Supremacy at the moment. Fragger's still got that sniper rifle as well. They are just 6 kills away now. Overshield not too important for them, but keeping it out of the hands of Vex seems to be just as vital for them at the moment. 5 kills to go, and I mean, with the sniper rifle and all of Vex seem to be trapped in this blue, it's going to be difficult for them to get back into this.
Yeah, they're all trapped in Cafe at the moment, and they're reluctant to push out. We've seen a lot of aggression from them, and actually they need to continue that aggression, but they need to be careful where they're going to push. I'd like to see them push around through yard potentially and avoid this sniper rifle first. Maybe go down to U-bend to try and capture him. Cristola does manage to pick up a kill, but Riots, what are you doing bottom middle? That's not good. They've tried to do something a little bit different, but only 3 kills needed now, Mark. And unfortunately, Supremacy have such map control here. They should be able to close it out.
They should do indeed. Lunny does pick up a kill on that sniper rifle player though, so he might have an opportunity to potentially hit some shots. It's going to have to be perfect Halo at this point though, Dan. They're going to have to not allow any trades. They're going to have to get every kill. And no, a grenade like that could be so painful. Is SLG going to actually pick up that kill on Riot? I'm not sure if that grenade did actually do any damage to that player. 1 kill away though. Supremacy now. It's going to be Lunny taken down to no shields. Riot's who's pushing this one. It's going to be another player top mid. It's going to be Fragger who takes down Riot. Look at Supremacy on this main stage. They take the series. Closing this one out in a game 5, 3-2.
6th seed Supremacy wandering old into this tournament and saying, oh, you English guys think you're going to get an easy ride over to Denver, do you? No, we want our chance back in America. They had a disappointing performance in Atlanta, and they've shut down Vexed. Wow, what a performance from Supremacy. They looked down and out after games 2 and 3, to be honest, Mark, but they came back into it, and I've been really impressed by this squad. Really impressed. Yeah, crazy series there. Unfortunately, Controller has been disconnected, so now we have the stats to show you at home. The man with the question mark, Dan, coming into this, the solo replacement Nurix, 17-9 in a game 5. What a performance from him. And then you look on the other side, the man who had such a strong series up till that last game, Riots with a 7-17, a neg 10 in a Slayer. Ooh. What a turnabout. That's It's a shame because Riot's, as you said, had a great series, and those games happen. Riot's was trying to do a lot in that game. You saw him pushing bottom middle quite a lot to try and get his team back into that Slayer. Unfortunately, he kept getting caught off guard. I mean, you can look at that. You can look at a -10 and you can say, were his teammates not supporting him? Perhaps was he caught off guard in situations where he shouldn't have been? There's a lot of questions that can be asked, and hopefully the analysts will be able to look into that a little bit more and see what they saw from the series.
Yeah, a crazy series. I mean, I have to give massive credit to Supremacy there. I always feel like they're a momentum team in the fact that if they get hot in a series, then they pretty easily close it out. But the fact that they had a hot start and then really got shut down a little bit, that was like, I was worried for them. But I need to talk very quickly a little bit more about Nurix. How impressive a performance in Game 5 is that for a new player on a team to have?
I mean, just this whole tournament already, we were questioning Nurix, and we were saying, is he going to be good enough to replace Solar? Is there going to be enough slaying ability or not? But honestly, he showed up to this tournament. The whole of Supremacy have. I'm really impressed. I think the crowd is really impressed, and I think the analysts will be really impressed as well.
All right, let's throw it back to Brycey then. How are you feeling after that one, gentlemen? Not a bad way to start the day, is it? Game 5? You happy with that?
I mean, it's a great way to start the day. We had the 3-0s yesterday, and now we get a Game 5 right off the rip, and it's getting a little bit loud on main stage.
Did you hear them? I love it when the French get loud because they could be saying anything. And I don't understand what they're saying.
Anything at all. They could be just talking about...
hopefully insulting you. What? I don't know.
It's not appropriate.
What?
And on that note, I think I'll ask the analysts exactly what's going on. All right. We did get a Game 5. Rich, you thought that was going to go to a Game 5, and you said 3-2 for Supremacy.
Yep.
Ended up taking it that way. Not the reverse sweep you thought, though, but...
Not quite.
Ended it out well.
Yeah, it went well. You know, we got to look at these guys, and we did say this is going to be a close one, regardless which way we actually looked at it. And it did. It only came down to a very, very few kills. But, yeah, when you've got one player on one team dropping 17 deaths, and on the other side, you've got someone dropping 17 kills, there is a big, big night and day parity there when we look in a Team Slayer matchup.
Yes. That Game 5 performance from Nurix, obviously the guys on the casting desk highlighted that one. That's a real statement. And I said during the online broadcast when we were talking about Supremacy, we really didn't get to see them play at all. So I was excited to see how they would play with a more consistent fourth. I was speaking to SLG backstage and he said, listen, Nurix is going to be a lot more consistent. We're going to play a lot more of a steady brand of Halo. These three play slow, and now I'm the playmaker who puts the damage down. And I always thought Solar, as a fourth on Supremacy, was very inconsistent. Every now and then he would drop a not a nice ratio and one that would potentially cost them games. Most of the time it ended up in that kind of state. So it's good to see them now with a consistent fourth playing a different brand of Halo.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's start at the beginning and recap this monstrous 5-game series. Let's talk about map 1 where it all kicked off, and it was looking good for Supremacy.
It was, yeah. Fathom was a map that I expected them to win. I said that they would win the first one, but then Vex would take the next 3. And I honestly see Fathom as a really good map for the French squad, honestly. Something they do really, really well is prioritizing that railgun. They got the first 2 captures in the game. Did let it slip a little bit kind of halfway through the game where they were allowing Ronnie to get a little bit too much top middle control from Vexed, and from then on they kind of hemorrhaged 2 flag captures, but early on it was the tailor, the camouflages and the railguns for Supremacy, and that's something they do really well on Fathom almost every single time.
I mean, you kind of called it perfectly, right? They were going to win the first game, and then, not exactly perfectly because they didn't carry on winning, but
really?
they were going to, they almost did, and you did say that this was going to happen. As you mentioned as well, Harry, it was not necessarily disappointing, but stressful to watch them go 2-0 up and then all of a sudden be drawn back up at 2-2 apiece. Just little mistakes here and there almost cost them the game, but neither team, it wasn't a whitewash. It was looking like a whitewash at the start for the first few minutes with the 2-0, but, you know, credit where credit's due to Vex, they pulled it back to 2-2.
No, and I think that's exactly it, right? You got to talk about, we thought Supremacy were going to have a great start. We talked about that first map and being quite important, but it's the second map where we were like, well, you know what? Supremacy should take the first one, and we're fairly confident, but it's definitely Vexed on the second map here. So let's have a little move on to that one and talk about map number 2, and that's where Vexed started to get a little bit momentum.
They should really rename Regret Slayer to Vexed Slayer, because I've never seen them drop this game type, and they dropped the same kind of scoreline you see there, 50, 30, 35, against teams like Infused, who are the #1 seed, and teams like XL, who are their close rivals that they're expecting to beat here in HCS London, if they even make it there. because now they're in the elimination bracket after that series. But yeah, something they do really, really well, very similar to halfway through the Fathom game, is getting that top middle control with Lunny, winning key 1v1s, blocking spawns, being very patient, waiting for the entirety of the enemy team to spawn in one place, and then capitalizing on that advantage. They never looked out here on Regret, and I don't think I've ever seen them look in doubt.
There's nothing else really to be said from our end. You know, Harry has been watching these guys for a while now. He knows how they're playing. He knows which are obviously their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
That clearly is one of their strengths. The most important thing rolling off the back of this, it just gives ammunition to the team, because Riots game number 3, we haven't seen a Riots like this in
Well,
Halo
I'll tell
5
you what,
yet.
let's move on to that one then, because this was a little bit crazy, right? This is where they started, we were like, okay, they took the Slayer fairly confidently, but really started to heat up here, and you're right, it was the tale of one player.
Yeah, it was. And despite the 53 points from Supremacy you saw on the rig, it was mostly Riots and Lunny turning up in that one. I mean, we saw in the stat line after the game, Riots with the most kills on the rig. He had 21, and the next nearest, I think, was 4 away. So he really was taking over the game for Vexed, really. A lot of people see the Rig Strongholds as one of the stronger decision-making game types for the French Supremacy squad. They looked a little bit suspect right there. I still question their slaying power on the rig, and the power-up and power weapon control that we saw on Fathom, we didn't really see there on the rig for Supremacy. So that's something I want to see them work on. They potentially could have taken that game type, but Vexed, again, never really looked out in that one. They never looked in doubt, and I really expected them to take the next game truth as well after that performance on the rig.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, that was a very powerful map number 3 there for Vexed. And it's at that point you can really start saying, honestly, maybe it's going to be one of these ones where they actually end up winning this series now. However, as we move on to map number 4, turns out Supremacy, they're coming back.
Yeah, they're really starting to swing things around, and again, still a very, very close game, no matter which way you kind of look at it. I mean, I honestly thought your prediction was going to be bang on. I really did. It was going that way, and it looked that way. I'll always will be a big purveyor of French Halo. I think these guys, when they get to Lannister, you know, Supremacy specifically, even with no one, Mr. SLG, not putting up the best stat lines in the world, but again, fair enough, we talk about stat lines, you can throw statistic around as much as you like. You don't know what they're actually doing for the team in the game. They could be making the moves, getting the map position, getting the crucial kills when needed, doing the dirty job, which is something that Ramirez is a player of. He won't have the best of stats, but he's always one that will happily dive on a flag and commit suicide just to get that pull or do what's needed for the team. So it doesn't always tell the story, but certainly when you've got SLG team captain throwing those kind of stats around, it doesn't help the bigger picture. It does make it harder for them in the grosser things, but Nurix, I'm really, really impressed so far.
Really big win for Supremacy on that Truth Capture the Flag game, considering they were 2-1 down in the series at that point, and they also lost the first flag capture. They surrendered that completely to Vexed. So, yeah, to be staring down the barrel of a series defeat and still come back, that's a really good sign for Supremacy.
Well, that kind of turns the tale on its head, right? Because now we say, Vexed, they had all the momentum, they had all the morale, they were pushing forward like one map away, and we go forward. They get the first flag as well, you know, super high spirits. Supremacy ended up taking it from 3-1. Now we move on to map number 5, and again, you know, you could tell that maybe Supremacy got a little bit rejuvenated from that map 4. They were coming back into this with a little bit of fire, and we saw Nurix go absolutely mental on that game.
Nurix had a standout performance in Game 5. He was the MVP. He won them the series in that Game 5, and it was all because of sniper control. Nurix, a lot of people questioned his kind of stability with his aim in high-pressure situations. He looked in absolutely no doubt in this Game 5. I mean, he was making the key shots. Fair enough, they're not the most flashy ones, but those two in particular were right as the overshield were coming up, and that's what allowed them to escalate into a lead kind of halfway through the game. We saw Vexed come back at parts when they grabbed the sniper with Lunny. You saw him hit 2 lovely no-scopes right there, but it was too little too late. I mean, they came within 3 at one point, but with Nurix and Fragger just chiming in with those power weapon slays, it never really looked like Vexed were going to get back in the game as long as they continued to do that, which they did.
Yeah, and it's a little bit disappointing when not only is one person, as I kind of said at the start of this segment, when one person's going 17 kills, it seems like it's not about the kill as well, it's about controlling your deaths and keeping them low. There is 2 sides to this story. And when you have one individual dropping 17 deaths, it's not great for the rest of the team. I mean, fair enough, there's a lot of stuff going on in that one. We can't read too much into it, but still, it's not going to help you out in the long term.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Vexed then. How far do we see them now going in this losers bracket? Now, that is the biggest team probably to drop in that losers bracket so far.
Yes, absolutely.
How far they get?
I think they can definitely go all the way, honestly. They're one of the top 3 seeds here in HCS London. They are the big giant now in the elimination bracket. They're the team that you don't want to be drawing up against in that elimination bracket. I think they should outclass every single team down there. It depends on their morale and their spirits, right? After losing to a team in Supremacy that you thought almost definitely you would have been beating at HCS London, that's going to affect their spirits. So as long as they can keep those up, I think they can potentially go all the way and maybe even secure a HCS Denver.